Warning: Josh is not an expert in any of the crap he talks about. He simply uses his head and does a lot of research so you, the audience, don't have to. Keep in mind, he doesn't know everything, so take the he says with a grain of salt.
What's going on, everyone? And welcome back to Josh Said What, the podcast that'll change the world. I have here with me a very special guest and the finalist for the Road to One heavyweight tournament, Yimaz Wildman, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for
Oh
coming on, man.
yeah! Wow!
Let's go, man. I got to say, first off, I just want to compliment your showmanship. I love the persona. I love the personality and how you portray yourself. It's awesome.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. So just to go and dive right in, for people that weren't familiar with the last fight, you're coming off of a first round submission win against Cameron Kism. Did I pronounce his last name right?
Yeah, only thing I call him is a dark shark, baby. But he got drowned in that water.
I know it was a great fight. You caught him with the rear naked choke. How'd you feel about going into that?
I felt blessed and highly favored. I felt all the energy from the crowd just seared through my veins and pierced through my heart. And when I just saw him against the other side, I feel like it was my time. I feel like it was just time that he realized that this was not the time for him to be at this certain place, or it wasn't for him to make it to this certain stage. It was my time. I worked too hard for it. So I took it and I made it mine.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And you did it in spectacular fashion. And honestly, this is a great historical thing too, because you get to be a part of the first ever Road to One heavyweight tournament that's hosted by Rough Nation. So how do you feel about that?
With this promotion, I felt I felt very in tune. I felt very I felt very loved at this place. I felt the energy. I felt the ancestors of that land, the warriors that bled for that land, that's still buried under that land, give me the strength of that warrior code that I got in me to
Nice.
just fight at my best. So I feel like they chose the right promotion because in their culture over in Singapore, it's always by the warrior's code. And in
Mhm.
this promotion, it's a warrior's code first.
Exactly. And this was actually my first time ever being a part of like a major event like this. So it was amazing to see everything behind the scenes, the crowd reaction when you guys came out, hearing and watching the crowd go insane and everything. It was a wild experience and it was definitely awesome. And I can't wait to be a part of the Rough 47 event too. I'm going to be able to see
Yeah,
it all and everything. I'm actually going to be working with MMA soccer too, get some action going
yeah,
and everything. It's going to be badass.
yeah, I can't wait, man.
Yeah, that's
I'm a
awesome.
gladiator. I'm a gladiator to this sport, man. It's like everybody say I'm a fighter, or everybody say I'm training like this. I'm a gladiator.
Exactly.
Love the roar of the crowd. I love the glory of the blood, sweat, and tears. It's like if you don't have the people behind you, it's like you can be sitting there fighting across a man, just a man to man. But when you got the crowd with you, you fighting against. It's like a man fighting against a legion.
Exactly.
The crowd is fighting with you. The crowd is the one that's messing with the mental. A lot of
Exactly.
people don't know that. That's why I tell people like they like, yeah, I'm a warrior like this. Yeah, I'm a gladiator. We two different breeds. We two different.
Exactly, because especially when they're chanting your name as you're going through the fight and everything, just the insanity of it. They're all just cheering for you and everything. It's such a wild experience.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Okay. And so, to also dive a little bit deeper into your background, how long you been kind of training in like MMA, fighting, and everything?
This journey of mine in this blood sport has been since I was a little boy. So I say that was around 5 or 6. Daddy saw me come home with a black eye. The next thing he said, it's time for you to pick up the gloves. And next thing I've been fighting ever since. I learned from Taekwondo to Muay Thai to kickboxing to boxing. Then next thing I had wrestling that I really fell in love with. So it's like it's a lot of things that I learned. Even learn close quarter combat, just being up close and personal. And just I'm all around. I'm like I told the last podcast or the last interview. I'm like I'm like a black GSP. No,
There you
my first
go.
fight, my first fight with RUF. I said I'm like a black GSP, just black and beautiful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And do you have any big goals at all for your career? Like, say, you get the contract and everything, and then you plan on expanding more. Like, any real big goals for you down the road?
Yes, big goals down the road after this task is completed. I want to build myself in one FC. I really want to expand my horizon, becoming, as you say, like a black Conor McGregor. I want to make myself like that. I want to really
Exactly.
be the first one, and I want to sketch this in history. I want to become champion, and this time, and when I become champion, I want to take over other promotions. I want to be where I already destroyed the competition in ONE FC, and now I want to be ONE FC champion and be put in the real title of being the best in the world. I want to challenge every promotion. I want to be like, I'm ONE FC champion. I want to challenge UFC champion, heavyweight champion. I want to challenge Bellator champion. I'm telling you, I'm gonna sketch that in history. I'm gonna make it happen.
Hell yeah. And then you're going to have this interview right here, sit in history, sit on YouTube. So, say down the road, when you hit that point, you could look back on it. You could just be looking at everybody and any naysayers, be like, I told you so. I told you so, man. And not only that, but you have that personality, the showmanship, and the persona to really draw that attention. Because, especially in modern times, it's that social media draw that really builds the fighter and get them to that Conor McGregor level. And just with how your personality is, your signature moves, and then like when I saw you at the weigh-ins at the Rough 46 and just how you acted all throughout of it. Yeah, you're gonna get so much attention from people. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Like this, like when I just see the what's the gleam,
Mm-hmm.
just that shine in their eyes when they see you. Like a lot of fighters have people just look at them, but that gleam when they see the greatness that's in you, that's where just my spirit just shine, my heart
Mm-hmm.
start pumping, my brain just be going haywire, it be going like circus just all around the place. The next thing I'm
Yes.
just like, it's just go time. I have to give them all of me. And then when I go in there, now it's like the term of being comfortable, no, being comfortable, being uncomfortable. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Like you're
So
used to being
now,
a diamond put under pressure.
so that's what I mean. So now when I'm in there, now I'm uncomfortable because now I put all my heart into the
Mm-hmm.
interest. I put all my heart at the weigh-ins. I put all my heart into the training. I put all my heart in just making this beautiful creation. Now when it's go time, I gotta put all my heart in there. So it's making me feel uncomfortable and making me know that it can't just stop here.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's how, like you say, like Conor McGregor, time he put all the things he did, he had put everything on the line from start to end. And next thing now, he put half and half, and it's not gonna work. And then with me,
Exactly.
I want to keep that. It's all full, baby. It's organic. It's
Exactly.
electrifying. So
Exactly.
that's what I want, and then that's what I'm bringing.
Oh hell yeah! That's why I would say my favorite fighter right now is Israel Adesanya because he's doing exactly that. He didn't hit that. I would say the plateau point with Conor McGregor. He's still pushing, 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 and that's what just
Yeah,
draws so much interest and makes the fighter excel because the fact that they're willing to put them in the desperate situations, in the hard times, to really persevere and come out as a true champion. That's what legends are told.
yep,
That's
yep,
awesome. And then, so to go ahead and talk about your upcoming fight, it's going to be the finale for the Road to One heavyweight tournament against Terrence
yeah.
Jean Jacques. How do you feel about this fight coming up?
Oh, I feel like I'm in a post-apocalyptic mode where
Really?
I'm trapped in a desert, and it surrounds me is a metal dome. And then I hear the people chanting around me. Only two may enter, and one may leave. And now I'm hearing this, and I feel the pressure, and I feel that's just light at the light at the door where it's open. I can be free, but with this freedom comes a build a future, a legacy I can leave behind.
Oh, hell yeah.
So now it's like a painful process, but a beautiful glory.
Exactly.
So that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like I'm in that mode. Like I have to get it. I have to bring it. This is just like a Rocky going against Dragunov. He thinks me as some common fighter or whatever he wants to believe, but not knowing that I'm tough as nails and I will break any bone and flesh, tear any flesh that's in my way. Because at the end of the day, my mind is set it that I don't have nothing to lose. I have everything to gain.
Exactly.
I am powerful, which I stand on. I am powerful, which I can fall and get back up. I am powerful, which I speak. It's going to come into existence. And if you don't believe it, I'm going to show you how powerful that things can happen when I put them in my hands.
Exactly. Exactly. I love the confidence too. That I love it so much because you're just so confident in your abilities, your skill set. Not only that, but the entertainment aspect. And you know that you could do it and you know that you could take down whatever comes in your way. That's a true champion right there.
Yes. Yes, and that's what my heart beats. I've been knowing for a long time. Even my worst enemy was myself because I doubted myself for a very long time. And I and then it was the man of war was starting to disappear. The myth of generations start not being told in stories some more. The legend that was born was starting to wither away into the wind. But then I had to restart that heart, that drive, that passion. And now I'm here. I'm
That's
here.
awesome. That's awesome. And it's showing for it. Your work is showing for it, man.
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for this fight. It's definitely going to be exciting to see all of it. This is going to be my second event ever, like really being a part of and everything. So it's going to be great to see how everything goes with you guys and whatnot. And for this fight, is there any type of like special preparations or anything that you're taking for it? Or is it like the same kind of training routine that you're going through?
My preparation was not as in depth as in physical, it was in depth as mental. Because I already showed the physical aspect that I already enduring the hard labor of
Hmm.
training. That's not going to question a doubt. It's the mental. That's what people don't prepare for. The body can withstand hard labor.
Hmm.
That's what a man's body is meant for. It went from hunting, war, fighting, just doing a simple exercise. The man's body is always made for that. But a lot of people don't recognize the mental of a man's brain.
Hmm.
And next thing, I prepared my mental to the point as I am like Angus Khan. I'm in the art of war. I
Nice.
prepared my mind as if I was Hercules, completing the 12 deeds. I prepared my mind like if I am Beowulf and I'm fighting monsters, even though I'm just a man. All these things come to one thing that I am determined. I am willing to die for this. I am willing to put my blood, sweat, and tears, even on the little things as fundamentals. I am willing to go the way. And that is
That's
a scary thing to fight.
exactly. That's exactly. I love your explanations of it too, the analogies, Beowulf taking on Grendel and everything. I'm loving that right now. That's great for social media. That's really gonna build it up for the fight. And it's badass to see all of it happen and everything and just the moment that's gonna occur and the fact that you're so confident in your ability and your skill set. And yeah, the fight game, it really is about psychological warfare. That's where the main thing comes from because if you already defeat the man before they step into the cage, then you already won. And you see that happen time and time again, like with Conor McGregor, as we talk about. You see other fighters that's gone through similar times where it just gets and chokes them up and everything. But to have the level of confidence that you have, not only to excel, but to make yourself a legend in modern times, that's really going to make the difference between you and any other fighters. And then for, sorry, I had a brain fart.
Mhm.
But for this, so for the fight and everything, You're coming off I would say you do have an advantage, I feel, in this fight, most because you're coming off of a first round submission win, so you're going to be a lot more fresh and everything. Terrence, he went through a war, a full 3-round war and everything. Of course, you never want to overlook the opponent, but you definitely
No,
do you feel like you have any advantages in this fight, especially considering that based off your guys' last performance too?
yes, he doubts me. That's
Really?
that's where that's where biggest feat, his biggest feat that he's going to make is going to be his biggest loss because he doubts me. And next thing I think, because like the last interview he had, he said some things where he hasn't took a deep a deep dive into that ocean of who he's fighting.
Right.
And that's where I'm going to have the advantage of, because it's more in this Pandora box. The only thing you see is the top layers until you really dive in the psyche of that. And if you really not studying that Pandora's box, you will never get the gist of what it can really do until it destroys you.
Exactly.
So I think that's where it's going to come down to, because I take him seriously. His last performance wasn't good, but I take him seriously.
Right.
I know he can do better, because who he went against wasn't easy. But the thing is, the man that he fought gassed himself out.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed.
So if the man hadn't gassed himself out, he wouldn't have prevailed like he did. And he doesn't know that he has a person that's been friends with patience for so long. He don't going against somebody that's friends with believing in himself. He not going against somebody that's friends with determination, that's determined that he will lay out the map of which he needs to do. Even though he get punched in the face, he still goes accordance with that map, with that trail of which he needs to go. And that is forward. And that is to a better foundation. That's to a better promotion. That's to a better life. Because my mind is not my mind is not going back to being forgotten again.
Hmm.
So this is what I say I got over him, is that he's doubted me, but I didn't doubt him. So when he comes in there, I feel like he's going to go light versus I'm going to go hard, and
Hmm.
I'm going to prevail. And that's going to be where he's going to fail at that, because he doubts. He thinks that he's better at wrestling or anything he wants to be. But you really, if you dived into me and knew about that, you would know what feats and accomplishments I have done. And next thing, if he listens to this, I want him to hear this, because I want you to take me seriously. Because I don't want no naysayer or nobody saying, "Oh, because I accidentally farted," and next thing that's what threw me off of the fight. No, you doubted me. That what threw you off. That what messed up your plan. But it's okay, because in the arts of war, I have to take advantage of anything that I see that I can get. And he has to know I'm an all around fighter. Any aspect that you throw at me, I will prevail. And that's a scary thing to swallow. I will prevail. And I hope you listen.
Man, I got a feeling that he's maybe gonna have some chills after that one. Oh, the good one. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see how that goes. And I'm loving it right now with that. It's gonna be wild to see how the fight turns out. And do you think that it's gonna go any specific way? Because as you were saying, you think that he's gonna kind of take it light, but you're gonna go just straight all into it. Are you expecting like a full on 3 round war? Are you looking to end it early, anything like that?
I believe in the process. I believe in the process and which things should be done. Like I say, if it has to be done on the ground, has to be done on the feet, it's gonna be done. It's gonna be done. Or if it has to go decision, all three is gonna be in my favor.
Nice.
And next thing with him and how he do things, he's looking for one option. And with that one option, he's not. It's if I can counter that, what else do you have? And next
Exactly.
thing that's what shows when he had his last fight, when one option is not on the table no more. You was powerless. You was getting dominated, you was getting destroyed. And next thing it turns to where it was mere luck that you won. Because to me, it was plenty times it should have been stopped. But you had somebody higher power on your side, on his side. And now the tables are turned and it's on my side. And I believe that with all my heart. Shogo is protecting me always. And he knows that this is my time. And I know it is.
Nice. I love the confidence. And you say you not only is it your time, but you've also been working on this for so long to build yourself up with your skills and your tools and everything. And as you were just saying, you have an extensive record just kind of all around and everything. Because before we started, you even brought up a little bit about wrestling and everything too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, it's
yeah.
definitely cool. Did you do for your wrestling? Did you do like any type of like collegiate or anything up, or is it like the people that you worked with and how they developed you?
In a former life of myself, I had took on the best of the best. I wrestled Jaden Cox to the point where it was off record, but we was equal at that time. It's just that in this sport, it's not wrestling. It's a fundamentals of everything.
Hmm.
So if you're not going against people that wrestle, you really can't showcase what you're doing. That's like a John Jones mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's just like, why would I exert everything where I can do what's needed for this moment? And next thing you know, through all the situations of this fight, I will prevail. That's like how John Jones is the man that he is. He used what he needs at that moment. Now give it all to that one, because now this is where you trick in the mind of every opponent.
Hmm.
This is where it's not about who's fitter, who got the more technique. Now it shifts to the mental. I thought I knew who I was fighting. I thought I knew how he stepped, how he turned, how he punched, how he kicked. Now it's just jumbled up. And now that's where we playing the pacing game of figuring out what I got to do next versus somebody is actually studying what all can happen.
Exactly.
So this where it's going to be make it or break it when May 14th comes.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be May 14th. It's gonna be a crazy event. And I got a feeling too, it's gonna be a wild main event too, just because everything that you
Mm.
guys are investing into this, doing the build up, the hype, and then just the opportunities that opens for you guys too, because you plan on expanding all into other different promotions as you further develop your career and everything. And like you mentioning all these different fighters, for as you've been building up and growing as a fighter and everything, is there anybody in particular that definitely inspired you to kind of become who you are now?
I would say my ex, like the fire that really inspired me, I would say Daniel Cormier,
I love
because
DC.
everybody was making fun of him because he was short. He was he was like the body didn't seem like the perfect ideal.
Hmm.
And next thing he let everybody think that he was not capable of, or everybody thinking that his wrestling wasn't good enough or anything else. And then he showed the best passion and determination of showcasing what he's about. And next thing, even though he had his falls, we know, but the bigger picture is that when they did doubt him, he prevailed. And that's the one thing I took out of him is the doubt. So you can prevail. And that is the mental. And I say, and that's the one thing that I realized I had to focus so much on was the mental. And that's even like Khabib, like my second favorite. Because he doesn't when he smash you, it's not about I'm overwhelming you with my wrestling. It's I'm overwhelming with my mental. I'm
Hmm.
looking you right in your eyes. I'm in your ear telling you it's not your time. It's no point in you getting up. Let it go. I deserve this. It's okay. I deserve this. And that's what's the best part about that is that they accept it and they have to go on their day hearing that same voice over and over again. And that's why a lot of people don't want to fight somebody like that because I have
Exactly.
to make it into existence.
Exactly. I still remember the fight between Habib and Michael Johnson. He's just on top, smashing him and everything. He's just telling him, give up, give up. You know, I deserve this. You know, I deserve this. That's why Habib is one of my top favorite fighters, too, just because his willpower, how mentally durable he is. Like, even against
Mhm.
all the shit talking with Conor McGregor and all that stuff, he still just went full throttle. And then he was one of the first guys, too, to rock Conor like that. It was such an insane experience. And I love DC too. That was a very good analogy because I remember watching that same whole like topic with people constantly doubting him because he didn't fit the normal narrative of uh you have to be full rip, six pack, looking jacked all the way. Like they're gonna skepticize whether or not you're on steroids or not, shit like that. Unless you look
Mhm.
like that, then you're not gonna be anything. And then he went on to become the second ever two division champion. He defeated Alexander Gustafsson. He fought, I mean, honestly, he went war with John Jones, regardless of what the end result was. He did phenomenal against John Jones. He took out Derek fucking Lewis, and that dude's a tank. He knocks you out, and you're gonna see next week, guaranteed. And the fact that he dominated him too, it definitely shows how people underestimated his wrestling, his full background, and then his just sheer willness to win and to persevere regardless of the odds.
Yes. And that is the most beautiful story you can have in war.
Exactly.
And that's even like they say you fail, but you still win. And that's why I feel like in this trial and tribulations, I feel like Leonidas and 300. That even though it's only few of us, it's only like a select few that believes in me. But with that, I am so much powerful in front of all the naysayers and all the people that doubt me. So you can be the Persians and I can be the Spartans. But at the end of the day, even with my death on the battlefield, it's still my glory and it's still the win. Because you had at the end of that, you would say, he had persevered through my doubts. That man really took feats and leaps through this war. and that would last longer than any win that you get. Cause I had to fight for my life, and then I was that. And when it came to that defeat, it wasn't a mere defeat. It was a mirror that I would have to show respect to this man that took me through that trial.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I bring. I bring that vibe, I bring that energy. I want you to feel that. Because a lot of people think this is a gimmick, but this was a forgotten man, myth, legend that was silenced for so long. And now his voice can be heard on a whole different platform, a whole different arena, a whole different coliseum, a whole different network that now I know I will never be forgotten. I will be remembered and sketched into the history of not just fighting, but this world.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a momentous thing. That's such, and I could guarantee just predicting it and then just to reflect on it going on so many years from now and you see the legacy you're built, that's when definitely only a few fighters get the opportunity to say that they truly made it in that aspect because it opens so many doors, so many opportunities for you, not just in
Uh-huh.
the fighting industry, but it just opens up so much for your legacy and what all you could build off of it and diversify.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes,
Exactly.
sir. Okay.
And that's what I'm bringing. And that's what I'm bringing. I want it all, man. And next thing, it just course through my, like it makes my hand shakes. It's like I'm a fiend for it.
Mhm, you got that adrenaline going.
And next thing, it's just like people don't understand. Some understand. Like some select few will understand. But when you actually see it, smell it, taste it, it's like I can eat a steak right now. It won't taste the same until I got what I want. Air won't feel refreshing to breathe in. It'll feel like I'm with disgust because it's something I want more. So it's just like even vision seem blurred, even when it seems so clear.
Hmm.
So I am so ready. I am so ready. And next thing, that's what that's what I say that's gonna have advantage in this fight. He don't realize I am so ready that I'm willing to die in that ring. I'm willing to have the crowd rejoice in my name even when I fall. I am that Apollo Creed in that moment where you don't throw no towel in for me. I would die in glory if need to be. This is not a failure to me. This is part of this sport, and this is part of my glory. Because people not gonna remember as you being victimized. They remember you as a champion because you went out how you supposed to go out. And that is
Exactly.
the beautiful symphony of this blood sport.
Exactly. That's why one of my favorite quotes ever is from Rocky. It's not about how many times you get knocked down, but it's about how many times you get up, and that's what's going to leave the legacy and show the true colors and what you're capable of doing. That's awesome.
Man,
That's awesome. That's great. This has been awesome, man. I truly appreciate it and everything. It's been just a wild experience, experiencing all this. Talk to you, man. I could tell you were ready to go. You're ready to throw hands, and you're going to go out with a bang. It really is going to be celebrity theater. It's going to be Roman Gladiator Arena. You're going to be in the center, throwing hands, fisticuffs, anything, using all tools to your disposal. And then by the end
yes.
of it, what happens, as long as your name gets drawn out by the crowd and you hear them all circling you, chanting your name, then you know that you've made it as a myth and a legend.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're
Thank you.
welcome, man. You're welcome, man. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I try my best. Try my best.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, this is awesome. And then, um, little side question, just because I wanted to bring this up before we hop off. If like in the future, is there any type of like dream fight you've ever wanted leading up and everything? Like you had Khabib, who always wanted that GSP fight, stuff like that. Just
Mm,
for you and to predict your future legacy. Anything you like in mind?
I would say the dream fight after the dream accomplishment is actually being the greatest fighter in the world by fighting for one, but taking over other divisions. So I'm still champion in one, then I'm a champion UFC, then I'm a champion Bellator. But the dream fight I always wanted is that I wanted to fight John Jones. It's not people say beating him for like a belt or beating him for status. No, I want that legacy. Even though he went through a whole lot of bull,
Mm-hmm.
even though he fudged his life up, but you cannot discredit his legacy and what he did. And that's what I want. That would be my dream fight is to go in there, give it all my all, and next thing prevail. And next thing, it wouldn't be me trying to soak in the glory. It's me going to him and be like, I am sketched in history with your name. Your legacy is beautiful. And now I can share that with you.
That's awesome. That's awesome, especially too, because you've never really seen John Jones truly get dominated or anything. I don't know if you follow anime at all, but there's a specific anime called Baki. I kind of do a comparison, a character named Yujiro Hanma. He's like this ogre. He's just this invincible persona that doesn't matter what you put in front of him. He's just going to knock it
Mhm.
down with ease and nothing will stop him. And I always associated that persona with John Jones. And it would be absolutely legendary and something that would be forever cemented in all of fighting history as someone that's been able to conquer that persona and everything. That would definitely be an epic dream fight.
That would be beautiful. Especially how I give my all to the crowd and going there and doing that. Yeah, I'll probably leave on that note. Like this, wild man is done. Cause I
Deuces,
don't want
boy.
that I don't want that second fight. Cause I already sketched it too good.
Exactly.
I would let him run it back. But that first fight would be so iconic. It was just be like, how? Like how are we gonna
Exa-
top that? How are we gonna top
exactly.
this?
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's great. But yeah, I think we're go ahead and go to wrap it up. Yeah, again, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you coming on. It's truly an honor. It's truly a humbling experience too. You're going to be a
Thank
part
you.
of the first ever Road to One heavyweight tournament. You are the first finalist to be a part of it, boy, and you're in the chance to win or $140,000 contract. Let's go, boy. Is there anything final you want
Yeah.
to say?
Yes, I want to thank my coaches and the people that surround me. I want to thank MCS. I want to thank St. Charles MMA. I want to thank Maryville Boxing and Muay Thai. I want to thank anyone that believes in me and know on May 14th, all I need from you is your energy and your sure will and your belief that I can do this and I will feel it through every fiber, every vein, every heartbeat, every sense and thought process in my body. And every blow I throw, we throw together. Because, like I said, he thinks he just fighting a man. But tomorrow, not tomorrow, but in that sense of when that fight comes, that day or that tomorrow, he will be fighting a legion. Because we are many. Because you or me are one. And I want you to know that.
Awesome. I love it, man. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I definitely appreciate it. I'll make sure to leave your promo code in the description as well, and then we'll get clips coming out. Definitely get you promoted, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate you.
Definitely. I appreciate you, man. Definitely appreciate you. And thank you guys so much for watching. This is Josh Said What, the podcast that will change the world. And we'll see you in the next one.